Hello class, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So students, welcome once again to your GK class. I, Anchal Singh, welcoming you all once again to your GK class. So class, in our previous session, as you all know that we were doing unit number 8, okay, of our GK syllabus. And today in this session, I am going to continue with the unit number same. So unit number 8, okay. So in the last topic that we had discussed was capital search. Now we will start with the next topic from the unit number 8, that is famous explorers. So this is the topic that I am going to start in today's session. So I am just writing the topic here, that is, okay, unit number is 8. Unit 8. The topic is famous explorers. Famous explorer. Okay, which is given at page number 52. Just a minute, something is there. Famous explorer topic is given at page number 52. Page number 52. So the topic, okay, so here it is given, an explorer is a person who travels to unknown places to learn more about them. Read about some explorers here. So now first of all, who is explorer? Explorer होते कौन है? So explorers वो होते हैं बेटा जो अलग अलग जगहों पे जाते हैं, उन जगहों के बारे में जानने के लिए, okay, to learn more about them, okay, and then they explore it as well. फिर उसको मतलब वो दुनिया को उस बारे में मतलब कहते हैं ना, they tell the people all over the world about it. Okay, so explorers are the person who wander from place to place to explore new things that are already existing in the world. Okay, so they went from place to place to explore the things that are already existing in the world. So first of all, I'll talk about the first explorer. He is Ferdinand Maglin. So the first explorer we'll talk about, he is Ferdinand. He is Ferdinand Maglin. M-A-G-E-L-L-A-N. He is Ferdinand Maglin. जिनकी हम बात करें वो कौन है? He is Ferdinand Maglin. Now who is Ferdinand Maglin? So Ferdinand Maglin was a famous Portuguese explorer. He travelled from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. He was the leader of the first European expedition to cross it. The Strait of Magellan is named after him. So now I'm talking about Ferdinand Maglin. So he was a Portuguese explorer. So Portuguese explorer means, okay, so Portuguese is the name of a country. Portugal is the name of a country, okay, and the person who belongs to that country, they are known as Portuguese. Okay, so Portugal is the name of the country, and the person who belongs to the Portugal, they are known as Portuguese. So Ferdinand Magellan, he was a Portuguese. Basically, he was from Portugal, okay, and he travelled from Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. Okay, उन्होंने Atlantic Ocean से Pacific Ocean तक travel किया. Okay, he was the leader of the first European expedition to cross it. वो फर्स्ट यूरोपियन एक्सपीडिशन को क्रॉस करने वाले सबसे पहले लीडर थे. द स्ट्रेट ऑफ द मैगलन इज नेम्ड आफ्टर हिम. ओके, एंड वहीं पे जो एक स्ट्रेट थी, ओके, जो उन्हीं के नाम पे रखी गई थी. सो देयर वाज अ प्लेस दैट इज नेम्ड आफ्टर द मैगलन. सो हु इज ही? ही इज फर्डिनेंड मैगलन. सो लेट्स रीड अबाउट हिम. ओके, सो ही वाज इन अ Portuguese. He was a Portuguese explorer. So he was a Portuguese explorer. Okay, so he was from Portugal. So he's a Portuguese explorer. Okay, so where did he wander from? He traveled from he traveled from Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. So he traveled from Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. Okay, and he was the first European expedition to cross it. So वो सबसे पहले यूरोपियन थे जिन्होंने इस एक्सपीडिशन को क्रॉस किया था. ये इन्होंने सबसे पहले इसको अटलांटिक से पैसिफिक ओशन तक का डिस्टेंस जो कवर किया था. ओके, सो ही इज़ फर्डिनेंड मैगलिन. सो हु इज़ ही? ही इज़ फर्डिनेंड मैगलिन. चलिए, मूविंग नेक्स्ट टू द सेकेंड एक्सप्लोरर. सो नाउ वी आर मूविंग टू द सेकेंड एक्सप्लोरर. So who is the second one? So he is Bartolomeu Diaz. So his name is Bartolomeu Diaz. So his name is little bit complicated. Okay, so देखिए इनका नाम क्या है. So second explorer जिनकी हम बात कर रहे हैं, he is Bartolomeu Bartolomeu Diaz. Okay, so another person is he, another explorer is Bartolomeu Diaz. Now what is here? So he was an explorer from the Portugal. So just like Ferdinand Maglin, he was also from the Portugal. Okay, sailed around the tip of the Africa in the year 1488. और इन्होंने बिल्कुल अफ्रीका के एकदम कोने तक ट्रैवल किया है. सो ही हैज़ ट्रेवल्ड और ही हैज़ एक्सप्लोर्ड अप टू द टिप ऑफ अफ्रीका. टिप ऑफ अफ्रीका मीन्स जहाँ तक अफ्रीका की बाउंड्रीज हैं. सो ही हैज़ ट्रेवल्ड टू द टिप ऑफ द अफ्रीका. Okay, the year 1488. So this was the time period when he has travelled up to the tip of Africa. He called it the Cape of Storms. Later it came to be known as the Cape of Good Hope. Okay, तो इसे Cape of Storm कहा जाता था. Okay, so but later on it was renamed as the Cape of Good Hope. So place जगह है, पहले उसको Cape of Storms कहा जाता था, but now it is being termed as the Cape of Good Hope. तो केप ऑफ स्टॉर्म्स क्योंकि वहाँ पे बहुत आगे मतलब मोस्टली जो शिप्स थे, ओके, और ये बहुत सारी जो घटनाएं थी वहाँ होती थी, तो इसलिए वहाँ पे उसको केप ऑफ स्टॉर्म्स कहा था. बट लेटर इट इज़ नेम्ड केप ऑफ गुड होप दैट ऑल द नेगेटिविटीज़ हैज़ बीन ड्राउन देयर. सो इट हैज़ बीन मतलब उन्होंने उनकी कुछ अपनी कुछ सोच कर उन्होंने उसका नाम केप ऑफ स्टॉर्म्स से बदल के केप ऑफ गुड होप रख दिया था. सो हु इज़ ही? सो ही वॉज ऑल्सो अ पोर्चुगल एक्सप्लोरर और पोर्टुगीज एक्सप्लोरर. सो बार्टोलोमेउ डियाज, ही वॉज ऑल्सो अ Portuguese. He was also Portuguese explorer. Okay, explorer. Next thing about him is, other than being a Portuguese explorer, he has travelled up to the tip of. He travelled up to the tip of Africa. So he has travelled up to the tip of Africa. So he is Bartolomeu Diaz. Okay. So he was the second explorer. The next is Christopher Columbus. So you must have heard about the Columbus. Okay. So who was Columbus? So let's hear about it or let's read about him. So first of all, I'll write on here this name. So the third explorer we will talk about, he is Christopher Columbus. The third is Christopher, C-H-R-I-S, Chris, C-H-R-I-S-T, C-H-R-I-S-T-O, P-H-E-M, Christopher Columbus. C-O-L-U-M-B-U-S. That is Christopher Columbus. So who is he? So he was the first European to reach the America in the year 1492. So अमेरिका पहुंचने वाले वो सबसे पहले यूरोपियन थे. ओके, सो यू नो कोलम्बस हैज़ डिस्कवर्ड अमेरिका ओनली. सो अमेरिका की जो खोज थी वो किसने की थी? कोलम्बस. सो कोलम्बस हैज़ डिस्कवर्ड अमेरिका. ओके, and he has discovered America in the year 1492. He named the people he met there Indians as he actually wanted to explore a western sea route to Asia. इन्होंने इनको जो वहाँ पे जो लोग मिले थे उनको उन्होंने क्या नाम दिया? इंडियंस. सो ही हैज़ गिवन द पीपल दोज हु हैव, मतलब जो वहाँ पे उनको जो लोग मिले थे उनका नाम इन्होंने क्या रखा था? इंडियन. उनको ये इंडियंस बुलाते थे. ओके, बिकॉज ये वेस्टर्न एशिया, ओके, क्योंकि वो वेस्टर्न जो वेस्टर्न पार्ट में जो सी था उस सी रूट के थ्रू वो एक उस एशिया को, मतलब वेस्टर्न सी रूट को, वो जो वेस्टर्न सी रूट एशिया था, ही वांट टू एक्सप्लोर इट. सो दैट्स व्हाई ही हैज़ रीनेम्ड द पीपल दोज हु ही हैज़ फाउंड देयर एज इंडियंस. सो ही इज़ क्रिस्टोफर कोलम्बस. एंड हु इज़ कोलम्बस? ही डिस्कवर्ड अमेरिका. अमेरिका की खोज किसने की थी? कोलम्बस ने. तो लिखिए. So let's write about him. So who was the Columbus? He was the first European to reach America, or you can say, so he discovered America. So Columbus he was an European first of all. He is an European explorer. So he is an European explorer. Okay. Second thing about Christopher Columbus is he discovered America. So he has discovered America as well. So his name is Christopher Columbus. He was an European. तो वे यूरोप के थे. सो यूरोप कंट्री से जो बिलोंग से वी जो कि हम इंडिया जो देखिए हम इंडिया को बिलोंग करते हैं. सो वी बिलोंग टू इंडिया. दैट्स वाई वी आर टर्म्ड एज द इंडियंस. सिमिलरली, सो दिस क्रिस्टोफर कोलम्बस ही वॉज फ्रॉम यूरोप. सो दैट्स वाई ही वॉज नोन एज यूरोपियन. ओके, एंड ही हैज़ डिस्कवर्ड अमेरिका एज वेल. Okay, he named the people he met. So the people he met there in America, okay, so he renamed as an Indian because वो चाहते थे that he wants to explore the western sea route. Western sea route को explore करते हुए वो एशिया को explore करना चाहते हैं. So that's why he has renamed the people those he has found there as Indians. So he is Christopher Columbus. So देखिए यहाँ पे pictures भी दी हुई हैं. So he is Ferdinand Maglin, then it's Bartolomé Diaz, then Christopher Columbus. Clear? Next, the most important one, that is Vasco Da Gama. So who is Vasco Da Gama? This is a very important one. So he has a very close relation with our country. Okay, so he is the person who has discovered India. उन्होंने हमारे भारत की खोज की. Okay, so the next person is Vasco Da Gama. The fourth explorer we will talk about, that is Vasco Da Gama. That is Vasco Da Gama. So now who is Vasco Da Gama? So Vasco Da Gama was a famous Portuguese explorer who sailed around the continent of Africa. Okay, in 1498 he reached the coast of Calicut in India. Okay, so now we are talking about the person. He has discovered our own country, India. So he was also a famous Portuguese explorer. तो वो भी पोर्चुगीज से थे. ओके, पोर्चुगल से थे. सो दैट्स वाई ही वॉज ऑल्सो अ पोर्चुगीज एक्सप्लोरर. देखिए मोस्ट ऑफ जो एक्सप्लोरेशन का काम था, ओके, जो एक्सप्लोरर्स थे दे बिलोंग टू द पोर्चुगल. तो पोर्चुगीज़ के जो ज़्यादा एक्सप्लोरर्स थे वो कहाँ के थे? पोर्चुगीज़ के थे. ओके, वास्को डी गामा इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ देम. ओके, सो ही वॉज अ फेमस पोर्चुगीज एक्सप्लोरर. वो भी एक फेमस पोर्चुगीज एक्सप्लोरर थे. ओके, एंड ही हैज़ सेल्ड अराउंड द कॉन्टिनेंट ऑफ अफ्रीका. और उन्होंने पूरे अफ्रीका कॉन्टिनेंट सेलिंग की थी. सो दैट मीन्स ही हैड ट्रेवल्ड अराउंड द होल अफ्रीका. सो अफ्रीका इज़ अ नेम ऑफ अ कॉन्टिनेंट. सो देखिए कॉन्टिनेंट में बहुत सारी कंट्रीज इंक्लूड करती होती हैं. Okay, and this person who is was a famous explorer, he is Vasco Da Gama. He has traveled throughout the continent of Africa. तो उन्होंने अफ्रीका के सारे कॉन्टिनेंट में ट्रैवल किया था. Okay, next is In the year 1498 he reached the coast of Calicut in India. तो 1948 में इन्होंने जो कैलिकट है उसके कोस्ट पे भी, उसके क्या बोलते हैं कोस्ट को हम क्या बोलेंगे, जो मतलब ही हैज़ एंटर्ड इंडिया. ओके, सो द कैलिकट. ओके, so he has entered India to the Calicut. Calicut is the name of a place. With Kolkata is different, Calcutta is different. Calcutta जिसको हम बोलते थे, it's now Kolkata. Okay, so Calicut and Kolkata, they both are very different from each other. Okay, so this is Calicut in the southern part of the country. Okay, so Vasco Da Gama, he was a Portuguese explorer. Okay, second thing is he has traveled around the whole African continent. Third thing is he has discovered our country India as well. Clear? So write down. So who is Vasco Da Gama? So he is a Portuguese explorer again. Portuguese. So Vasco Da Gama is a Portuguese explorer. Okay, so he is a Portuguese explorer. He has traveled around. So he has traveled around. He sailed around the he has sailed around the African continent. Okay, he sailed throughout. He sailed throughout Africa continent. Africa continent. Okay, so he has traveled around Africa continent. Next, okay, and he discovered India. Okay, Vasco Da Gama. Yes, he has discovered India, or he has entered India through the Calicut region, the Calicut coast region. Okay, so he is Vasco Da Gama. Clear? So this was about Vasco Da Gama. Next, Neil Armstrong. So the next person we'll talk about, he is Neil Armstrong. So देखिए Neil Armstrong is not an explorer. So he is one of the person who has stepped on the moon for the first time. Okay, so next is, okay, but he is a kind of explorer. तो इन्होंने किसी country का explore नहीं किया था. Because first of all, the first fifth person we'll talk about, that is Neil Armstrong. So now we will talk about Neil Armstrong. Now who is Neil Armstrong? So Neil Armstrong was the first human being to walk on the moon on 20th July 1969. So Neil Armstrong, he has explored the moon. उन्होंने किसी कंट्री को नहीं, उन्होंने मून को, चांद को एक्सप्लोर किया था. कैसे एक्सप्लोर किया था देखिए, ही वेंट टू द मून थ्रू अ स्पेस क्राफ्ट दैट ओके. सो नासा के एक स्पेस क्राफ्ट से ही ये मून पे गए थे. ओके, एंड ही वॉज द फर्स्ट पर्सन हु हैज स्टेप ऑन द मून. तो चांद के ऊपर कदम रखने वाले सबसे पहले पर्सन कौन है? ही इज़ नील आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग ओनली. ओके, एंड व्हेन ही हैज स्टेप ऑन द मून, ओके, सो ही हैज़ गिवन अ स्टेटमेंट कि दैट दिस फर्स्ट स्टेप ऑन द मून इज़ अ वेरी बिग लीप, will play a very big leap role in the nature of the mankind. तो ये चांद पे जब इंसान पहुंच गया है तो ये पूरी mankind के लिए बहुत ही बड़ा कदम. It's a very big step for the whole complete mankind. Okay, so who was he? Neil Armstrong was an American. So he was an American astronaut. Okay, वो अमेरिका के एक एस्ट्रोनॉट थे and he belongs to the NASA. Okay, and he was the first person to step on the moon. So is Neil Armstrong. So he is an American astronaut. He is an American astronaut. ASTRONAUGHT. So he is an American astronaut. Okay, sorry, I have just written the wrong spelling. NAUT. Astro. NAUT. So he is an American astronaut. Okay, second thing about the Neil Armstrong is he was the first person to step on the to step on the moon as well. So he is a Neil Armstrong. Okay, so he was an American astronaut and he कौन सी अमेरिकन एजेंसी के लिए काम करते थे? he went, not लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, just think अपने दिमाग में रखिए कि ये जो स्पेस में गए थे, so he worked for the NASA. So NASA is one of the leading space agencies in the world, and he has stepped on the moon, or he has went into the space through the NASA's spacecraft. Okay, only. चलिए, so he is Neil Armstrong. Moving next to the sixth one. Sorry. We'll move to the next one. That is the sixth one. Okay, moving next to the sixth one. The sixth is Yuri Gagarin. The next is Yuri Gagarin. Now, who is Yuri Gagarin? So, he was the first Russian cosmonaut. Okay, so he was a Russian cosmonaut who in 1961 became the first man to travel into the space. So, space में जाने वाले सबसे पहले पर्सन, सबसे पहले इंसान कौन थे? That is Yuri Gagarin. देखिए, नील आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग वॉज द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू स्टेप ऑन द मून. वो चांद के ऊपर कदम रखने वाले, लेकिन उससे पहले बहुत लोग ऑलरेडी स्पेस में जा चुके थे. एंड दैट इज यूरी गागरिन वॉज द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू हु वेंट इनटू द स्पेस. ओके, एंड हु वॉज द फर्स्ट विमेन टू ट्रेवल इनटू द स्पेस, वो भी हम आगे पढ़ेंगे. दैट इज वेलेंटिना टेरेस्कोवा. Okay, so who was Yuri Gagarin? So Yuri Gagarin was the first person, okay, and who went into the space, and he is a Russian cosmonaut. देखिए, cosmonaut and astronauts they both are same, but जो Americans है वो term use करते हैं astronauts, whereas जो Russians है वो word term use करते हैं cosmonauts, but the meaning is same. Okay, so who is Yuri Gagarin? Okay, he was the first person to went into the space. He was a Russian cosmonaut, and he went into the space in the year 1961. Clear? So who is Yuri Gagarin? Okay, he was Russian cosmonaut. So he was Russian cosmonaut. He was Russian cosmonaut. Other than that, he was the first person to travel to space. He was the first person to travel to the space. अंतरिक्ष में जाने वाले सबसे पहले इंसान, he was Yuri Gagarin. Okay, in the year, okay, when did he went to the space? So he went into the space in the year 1961. So he was the first person to travel to the space, and he went to the space in the 1961. Okay, so he is Yuri Gagarin. चलिए, moving next to the seventh one. Next is Valentina Tereshkova. So now the next person is Valentina Tereshkova. The seventh is Valentina Tereshkova. Tereshkova. That is Valentina Tereshkova. Now, who is Valentina Tereshkova? She was the first woman to travel into space in the year 1963. So, just after 2 years after Yuri Gagarin, so Valentina Tereshkova, she was the first woman to travel to the space. She was also the first space traveler who had never been a test pilot. Okay, वो इकलौती पहली स्पेस पर्सन थी जो कि स्पेस में गई थी, विमेन थी ओके एंड ये वो कभी भी टेस्ट पायलट नहीं रही थी बिकॉज देखिए द सर्टेन ट्रेनिंग्स आर गिवन बिफोर गोइंग, देखिए ये नहीं कोई भी उठ के चला जाएगा स्पेस में, उसके लिए कुछ ट्रेनिंग लेनी पड़ती है. ओके एंड शी हैज़ नेवर बीन द टेस्ट पायलट एज वेल. ओके सो हु इज शी इज, okay so just a second to something, she was the first woman, she was the first, she was the first woman to travel to the space, to the space. Okay, so who is Valentina Tereshkova? She is the first woman to travel to the space and she is Valentina Tereshkova. Okay, so these are the some famous explorers that we had discussed. Now let's begin with the quick quiz that is given at the end the chapter, that is quick quiz. So let's do the quick quiz. The first blank that is given here, who was the first Indian to go into the space? स्पेस में जाने वाले सबसे पहले इंडियन भारतीय कौन थे? सो द फर्स्ट इंडियन टू ट्रेवल इनटू द स्पेस वाज राकेश शर्मा, दैट इज राकेश शर्मा. सो द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू ट्रेवल इनटू द स्पेस वाज राकेश, सॉरी फर्स्ट इंडियन टू ट्रेवल इनटू द स्पेस वाज राकेश शर्मा. नेक्स्ट, इन विच इंडियन सिटी डिड वास्को डी गामा डाई? ओके, तो वास्को डी गामा कौन सी इंडियन सिटी में उनकी डेथ हुई थी? सो वास्को डी गामा डाइड इन कोचीन. सो वास्को डी गामा की जो डेथ हुई थी वो इंडिया में ही हुई थी एंड ही वॉज डेड इन कोचीन. ओके, स्पेलिंग COCHIN. सो वास्को डी गामा वॉज डेड इन कोचीन, COCHIN. Cochin. Third one, which European traveller was one of the first to travel the Silk Route in China? तो सबसे पहले कौन से यूरोपियन ट्रैवलर थे जो कि सिल्क रूट से चाइना की तरफ गए थे? दिस इज़ अ काइंड ऑफ अ नेम ऑफ अ रूट, ये एक रूट का नाम है चाइना जाने के लिए. So who was the first to receive? The person must be from Europe, so that's why he was a European traveller. Okay, so he was the first to travel through travel the Silk Route to China. So he is Marco Polo. So the answer for the third one is Marco Polo. So he is Marco Polo. So Marco Polo was the first person who has went to the space to the European sea route. Next, the fourth, who said the words? किसने words कहे थे, किसने कहा थी ये शब्द? one small step for a man was one giant leap for the mankind. देखिए मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी बताई थी ये बात. So who said the words one step for a man? एक छोटा सा इंसान का कदम was a very giant step for the leap of the mankind, पूरी मानव जाति के लिए. So who said these words? These words were said by Neil Armstrong when he had stepped on the moon for the first time. जब उन्होंने मून के ऊपर चांद पर सबसे पहले कदम रखा था एंड when he came back एंड जब उनके इंटरव्यूज़ वगैरह होते तो उन्होंने बोला था कि जो इंसान ने अब चांद पे कदम रखा है so we can go anywhere. Okay, so this words were said by him, one small step for a man, one giant leap for the mankind. That is Neil Armstrong. That is Neil Armstrong. ARMSTRONG. That is Neil Armstrong. Clear? So these are the answers for the quick quiz given at page number 52. The first is Rakesh Sharma, second is Cochin, third is Marco Polo, fourth is Neil Armstrong. Okay? So with this we have completed the topic that is famous explorers. Okay? And this is from today's session as well. So with this I am just ending the session here only, class. So I'll see you again very soon in our next session So till then everybody, have a great day and stay safe. Okay.